Hey guys, what's going on? I miss you all so much, and I hope that we will be face to face really soon. I just want to thank all of you for everything that you have turned in. I am so impressed because a lot of you have worked with your siblings, you've asked your parents to help you out, and you have turned in some of the most creative projects ever. So I just want to thank you. So this is my first time doing a screencastify, and I will probably say a lot, and I apologize. But I just thought it would be a neat way to hear the lesson this week. So without further ado, I'm going to turn off the camera and I will see you guys at the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and take a look at our project. And the name of the project is Inspirational Drawing. So this week we're going to be focusing in on some drawings. So we are, believe it or not, week 4, and we are really going to focus in on the visual message. So what would the definition of a visual message be? It is something like this. The message of art is whatever you take away from looking at it. So there are many ways that artists can create those good visual messages, and let's take a look together at these bullets. These are just a few. So let's take a look at them. They're easy to do. So it says first to think about the lighting, or in other words, you're thinking about color schemes, the colors that you're using, what you want to emphasize, and you can think in terms of high contrast versus low contrast. Another thing that you want to think about is symbolism, and most importantly, you want to think about symbolism that everybody can relate to. Create a storyline that is also relatable to your audience. You want to use narrative that others can relate to. And you want to think about your composition as a whole the whole time you're working on it. So let's take a look at this art piece that I found this week, actually in an article that I was reading about creating art and the visual message during this pandemic. And so there's a couple questions I have up here that I want you to kind of think about as you're looking. What do you think this artwork means? What is the message that maybe the artist is trying to convey? And what do you think about this artwork? So the last question is something more personal that we're not really going to talk about that together. But what do you think it means? Do you think it means people are staying connected? And I kind of gathered that from this line of the two phone pieces staying connected together. Notice that these people are staying connected from a distance. And they're using the telephone, so you can kind of think of maybe that it's related to something that we're all getting familiar with, and that's social distancing. I want you to notice the color choices that they used. They used the yellow and then the white square back here, and then notice we're emphasizing this red phone versus this golden phone. So they made a lot of really clever choices to help convey their message. And you're going to be doing the same thing. So another really cool thing that's been happening is a lot of people have been creating sidewalk chalk art. And this just so happens to be some sidewalk chalk art that's been created in Italy. And you can see right here these links. This link will take you to the article where I found this photo from, but it really talks about how all Italians were creating these banners, these sidewalk chalk pieces, and they were talking about being strong. They were using a universal symbol, that rainbow, And you can see that these particular kids and their 3 puppies were talking about staying strong, keep calm, and stay home. So again, they're talking about what we're all going through and sending their own little message through their sidewalk chalk art. So I found this one also on the internet when I started researching sidewalk chalk art during the quarantine, and I thought this one was really clever. You have Gilbert is quarantine, and obviously Gilbert is the fish that's tied up inside his little bag of water. With what we know about quarantine, was this a good subject to choose to draw? I personally think it was great because everybody or most everybody can relate to a fish and they know what it is, and they know that in order to take that fish home, they have to be confined in this little bag to be brought home to their new home. So I thought it was a really clever way to talk about that isolation and us being stuck in our homes. I think I have one more for you, and that is this one. And there's a couple reasons why I have this one on the presentation. The first of all, later in the presentation, I'm going to talk to you guys about this particular sidewalk chalk technique. It's called stained glass and how to do it. But then you can see that they're talking about staying strong, and then they're thanking certain people in the community for what they have done. So it's a really nice message of inspiration to others. So this assignment has 2 options. So you're going to choose either option number 1 or you're going to choose option number 2. So let's take a look at the objective for option number 1. The objective for number 1 is students will create an inspirational drawing using colored pencils, Sharpies, markers to color their project. Option 2, the objective is students will create an inspirational sidewalk chalk drawing using sidewalk chalk. So the next few slides are kind of the instructions for putting together option number 1, creating that inspirational drawing using Sharpies, markers, and color pencils. What I'm asking you guys to do first is either choose a word from this word list that I have to the right, or you're choosing a quote, song lyrics, a funny pun of your choice that you want to share with others. And below, if you click on these links, there's 2 different YouTubers that I follow quite regularly. I look at their stuff. They're doodlers, and they're using funny puns to encourage others. And I think humor is really fun to use when you're inspiring others. So that's why I put these here for you to view. After you choose that quote, those inspirational lyrics, that one word that you want to illustrate, what I'd like you to do next is go to 100freefonts.com or come up with your own letter font style that you want. If you do choose to go to 100freefonts.com, what you're going to do is you're going to type in your chosen word or quote or lyrics in the font that you choose. And then you are going to maybe even enlarge that font on your computer screen and trace it, or you're going to just use what that generated and you just draw it on your own. And then after you do that, after you have your word enlarged big in the middle of your paper, you're going to begin filling up the background. And I really want you to just incorporate lines and shapes at this point to create different patterns. And you'll see here next what I mean. So the word fortunate is emphasized with these repeating lines that go around it. And then you'll see that they put these fun little design patterns going around that word to help emphasize it. And then what will happen next is you will color it with marker, Sharpies, or colored pencil, or all of the above. And when you're all done, you'll take a photo of it and you'll post it in the Schoology assignment that I have for you. Okay, so let's talk about option 2. Option 2 is sidewalk chalk. And again, you're creating an inspirational drawing. And first, I have 2 videos that I wanted to share with you. This first one is a South African student using that stained glass technique. And she's going through what we're going through right now, being quarantined, having to stay at home. And so she's utilizing the sidewalk chalk stained glass technique just to kind of fill her time. But she did a really beautiful job. So I want you to see that. And then the next video is actually an art teacher explaining to her students kind of different techniques to make your sidewalk chalk more vibrant and easier to put on the sidewalk. So check those out before you move on. After you do that, then you're going to go ahead and decide what you would like to draw and what visual message of inspiration you'd like to share. And then I really would like you guys to draw a quick thumbnail sketch of your idea first with pencil and paper. After you do that, then you're kind of ready to go outside. So I really would like you to check the weather first. If it's going to rain later in the afternoon, it's probably not a good time for you to do it. So check the weather first. And then what I did was I went ahead and walked around on my street and kind of found a really smooth place to do my drawing. And then I had a broom with me and I swept the area first just to get rid of all the little leaves and bugs and rocks and all that junk. And then after that, I had some water that I took with me and I poured it on top of the pavement. And then I went ahead and I dipped my chalk in the water before I started drawing, and it goes on so much smoother. And then just really make sure that you're having fun. Take a sibling with you, maybe a smaller one. They would love to do this with you, or even your older sibling. And if your parents have time, ask them to come with you and draw together. When you're all finished, again, you're going to take a photo and then you're going to post it in Schoology. So I can't wait to see all the inspirational messages and visual messages that you create to share with people around you. So what do you do now that we're all done kind of talking about it? You first are going to decide what option you would like to do. And then, of course, like we always do, we brainstorm ideas, we research ideas. Some of you will need to do a thumbnail sketch in that brainstorm and research time. And then go ahead and begin your project. Don't forget to turn in a photo of your project in Schoology. And this time around, we will have maybe 3 reflection questions to wrap things up. So that's it. And I'm super excited to see what you do. Just so you know, I do have an Instagram account. I've had it forever. I've been posting a lot of your artwork on there, and I've also put a couple of videos on my YouTube account. It's the school YouTube account. And I'll do it again this week with all of the recreation of your masterpieces that you guys did. And I will have all of those links for you in a message on Sunday when I post up the assignment. So anyway, you guys, I miss you, and I hope you are happy to hear my voice this time around, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.